They'll preach that self-sacrifice is honorable, that twisting yourself into knots for everyone else marks the ultimate good. They need you worn out. They need you empty. A man who forever places others ahead is reliable like clockwork. He's simple to steer. They don't praise your giving nature. They milk it dry. The planet doesn't hand trophies to martyrs. It devours them. Machiavelli saw through it. He penned advice for kings, not doormats. His secret play, real influence, starts the instant you anoint yourself. Above all others, you can't shield a realm if you can't shield your own skin. You can't command if you're on your knees. Each moment you ignore your own muscle, you're honing somebody else's dagger. You've been fed the line that self-erasure equals morality. But morality with no bite is self-destruction. Pay attention. The guy who ranks himself number one isn't greedy. He's tactical. He locks down his hours, his fuel, his drive. He forges himself into a citadel and only afterward picks who gets past the gate. That's influence. That's staying alive. In a jungle full of predators, it's the sole path ahead, starting right now. Quit saying sorry for it. Prioritize your own throne or end up as meat for the next guy who refuses to. Law 1. The Prime Directive. You are the nation. You're not just some guy. You're a standalone power. And every nation's opening rule is staying upright. Countries crumble not from stinginess toward outsiders, but from hemorrhaging their own lifeblood for the crowd. Identical rule for you. If you're frail, sucked, dry, running on fumes, then your domain, your flesh, your thoughts. Your future falls apart. Machiavelli aimed at princes because he grasped that control radiates from the core. Let the seat of power crack, and the whole territory festers. Ranking yourself first is an ego. You're the emperor of bone and intent, and every decision either fortifies the ramparts or swings the doors wide for raiders. Scan your surroundings. The majority of males have turned into butlers inside their own castle. They bow to every order. They hand over hours. They flame out, chasing nods that never arrive. They aren't rulers. They're captives dressed up as holy men. Yet you can't guide while shackled. You can't guard while pleading. Putting yourself first reclaims your command. It declares, my clock is mine. My fuel is mine. My drive is mine. Others can sip from my strength, but only on my sizo. A monarch doesn't apologize for the throne. He barricades it. This is the opening law you burn into your skull. You are the nation. If you fold, everyone leaning on you folds. If you rot, all tied to you rots. Your fitness is locked in stone. Your concentration is locked in stone. Your expansion is locked in stone. You're not a vending machine to be drained. You're the motor driving every other piece. A motor that seizes up is dead weight to everyone. The globe won't send flowers for your burnout. They'll trip over your carcass to gorge on the next fool who volunteers first. Here, this, loath. Self-focused, when calculated, equals survival. Self-ranking isn't greed. It's obligation. Obligation of every leader to safeguard the crown on his skull. Because if the crown slips, everything under it spirals into madness. Command yourself first. Direct yourself first. Shield yourself first. Only then do you possess anything solid to offer, anything firm to order. The opening law is stark. You are the nation. Defend your independence or watch everything it could have raised burn to ash. Law 2. Mercy without fangs is chum. Mercy is a privilege owned only by men with visible bite. Without dominance, your softness isn't goodness. It's bait. It screams vulnerability. It summons hunters. Machiavelli knew that open-handedness without muscle is theater staged for the ones plotting to bleed you. The planet doesn't salute your tender heart. It gauges whether your backbone can carry the weight of your promises. You've watched it happen. The guy who folds for every plea, who pardons without limits, who pours out reserves without tally, turns into the doormat others scrape mud off their boots on. His mercy is gulped down, never revered. But the man who carries obvious steel, who draws lines, who enforces them with quiet accuracy when he offers mercy. It lands like gold, even sparks dread, because the room knows it's a decision, not a reflex. Get this straight. Kindness isn't free. It's leverage. It only packs force when it costs you nothing critical, when you hand it from an overflow of power. Until you've got fangs, you owe nobody velvet. Stack leverage first. Skills, capital, physical command, name. Then, when you grant mercy, it hits like a monarch issuing reprieve, not a flunky fishing for pats on the head. Don't mix warmth with frailty. The lion lounges in sunlight not because he's tame, but because he can rip throats whenever he chooses. Your mercy must mirror that. Give to freely, and you teach the world to treat you like lunch. Hold back when required, strike when demanded, extend restraint only when it tightens your grip. This is the shadow psychology most men dread to study. Benevolence without bite is camouflage for terror. People sniff it, they exploit it, then they toss you aside. If you want your kindness to count, hammer it on the anvil of dominance. Until then, keep it locked, keep it guarded. Let your silence warn that your favor isn't loose change. Machiavelli's hidden game wasn't cruelty. It was mastery. Mastery of image, timing, reserves. Master that mastery, and your mercy turns into rare coin, not pocket lint. The powerless leak life by giving, the powerful multiply by choosing when to give. Burn this in. Until you sharpen fangs, every grin you flash is an engraved invitation to be eaten. Choose with ice, guard your mercy. Make it intentional, never automatic, because mercy without fangs is chum, and you weren't born to be swallowed. Law 3. Controlled coldness. Strategic detachment. Detachment isn't frailty. It's weaponry. The man who can't detach is shackled by every twitch, every face, every demand. The world jerks him around because he reacts to every tug on his nerves. But you will master the art of icy distance. Controlled coldness isn't numbness. It's scalpel precision. You don't chase. You select. You don't cling. You dictate. Strategic detachment renders you unpredictable, and unpredictability equals danger. Most men broadcast desperation like a bleeding wound. They beg for approval. They drown others in attention. They pour themselves into bonds that suck them dry. Their thirst leaks, like blood, in shark-infested water predators swarm. But the man who withholds, who watches before he engages, who lets silence hang like lead instead of scrambling to fill it, that man forces others to lean forward. Attention is currency, and you stop handing it out like counterfeit bills. When you ration your focus, when you treat it like platinum, the world learns its worth. People chase what's scarce. They respect what must be earned. This is shadow psychology stripped bare. Scarcity ignites hunger. You become scarce not by vanishing, but by command. Speak less. Disclose less. Reward on your terms. Every glance, every word, every gesture measured, deliberate. Strategic detachment also keeps your vision razor sharp. Emotions fog strategy. Attachment spawns mistakes. When you stay cold, you spot plays others miss. You calculate while they drown in impulse. You strike first, you win. Etch this line in your skull and speak it now. I move first, I win. That is the creed of the untouchable. You're not denying emotion. You're governing it. You choose when to feel, when to reveal, when to invest. That choice makes you sovereign. Don't confuse coldness with cruelty. Cruelty wastes fuel. Coldness conserves it. This isn't about sealing the world out. It's about forcing the world to qualify for entry. The man who's everywhere is valued nowhere. The man who's selective becomes myth. Controlled coldness isn't emptiness, it's leverage. It lifts you above the herd and plants you as the one who decides, not the one who waits. Burn this in. Your power ignites where your detachment begins. Withdraw, observe, decide, then strike with surgical force. Master detachment and no one can pull your strings. When no one can pull your strings, you are untouchable. Law 4. Reputation. The armor you don before the first arrow flies. Reputation isn't ornament. It's plate steel. It strides into the room ahead of you. It murmurs in the ears of strangers. It dictates how adversaries size you up before you even twitch. In Machiavelli's arena, reputation often outweighed legions. Legions need rations. Reputation feeds itself on fear, ob, and rumor. You begin forging yours with glacial precision. Grasp this. Men aren't judged by their private motives. They're judged by what the crowd believes about them. Truth is secondary. Perception is king. And perception bends like clay. If you let others sculpt your image, they'll mold you soft, pliable, harmless, and treat you exactly that way. But if you seize the chisel, if you project iron, control, and hard lines, your reputation becomes a shield that deflects blows while you're still across town. It discourages attacks before they launch. It funnels opportunities straight to your door. Most men torch their image chasing affection. They overshare. They hunt validation. They perform submission hoping for applause. That's suicide. Power is never built on being liked. It's built on engineered perception. Reputation is the tale told about you when you're not there. Author that tale with intent. Speak sparingly. Act surgically. Let silence brand you. Reputation grows faster on what you withhold than what you shout. Never boast, let outcomes roar. Never beg, let absence stoke curiosity. Never over-explain, let mystery outweigh words. A king who justifies himself turns into a clerk. A warrior who brags invites a duel. Deny them the opening. Forge reputation layer by layer, plate by plate. Display reliability and strength, not in self-sacrifice. Deliver what you vow, but vow little. Make victories loud enough to cement credibility, yet erratic enough to stay unguessable. People must always wonder how deep your reserves run. That wonder is your moat. Remember, reputation isn't merely what they think it's. What they fear might be true. Weaponize that fear. Guard your image like a patch breaches ruthlessly. Expand it slowly, deliberately, and never under any circumstance let the mob write your legend. Reputation is armor. Strap it on before war, and many wars end before the first clash. Law 5. Boundaries. Walls with gates, not moats with holes. Boundaries aren't polite hints. They're fortifications. Most men dig moat-soggy trenches full of apologies, excuses, and blurred lines anyone can wade across if they push. A true sovereign raises walls. High, solid, unyielding. Walls with gates, not moats with leaks. Your boundaries must be visible, ironclad, and enforced without a flicker. When someone steps over the line, you don't bargain. You correct quiet, firm, final. Machiavelli taught that a prince must inspire both fear and respect. But boundaries are where those forces fuse. Respect is born when people know exactly where you stand. Fear is born when they realize you won't budge. Weak men mistake flexibility for virtue. They think endless yes makes them loved, but infinite yes makes you invisible. People can't value what's always on tap. Boundaries create scarcity. Scarcity creates value. When you enforce them, you train the world to honor your time, your fuel, your attention. Here's the shadow truth. People test boundaries, not because they need what's inside, but to measure your spine. Fail to enforce, and you broadcast frailty. Once exposed, it spreads like plague. No one takes you seriously again. But enforce, without drama, no yelling, no pleading, no justification, and you signal forged steel. People may gripe, they may push back, but they adapt. They orbit you with fresh respect. Your boundaries aren't prison bars to cage you. They're fortress walls to protect your sovereignty. Inside those walls, you decide who enters and on what terms. You control the gate, not them. That control is freedom. Every no you deliver isn't rejection. It's preservation of your empire. Here's the paradox. The higher your walls, the more precious your yes. People treasure it because it's rare. They seek it because it must be earned. That's how kings rule, not by bending, but by standing, not by explaining, but by enforcing. Raise your walls, Gaia. Keep your gates few. Guard your kingdom without apology. Boundaries aren't about locking the world out. They're about deciding who deserves to step in. Without them, you're not a ruler. You're rubble. Law 6. Resource monopolies. Guard your time, energy, focus. Your resources aren't cash or trinkets. They're time, energy, and focus. These are the currencies that build empires. And the brutal fact, most men scatter theirs like beggars flinging crumbs. They pick up every call, bow to every demand, bleed attention into trivial noise, and wonder why their lives are ruled by exhaustion instead of conquest. Machiavelli knew control of resources is control of power. To dominate your world, monopolize what sustains it. Your calendar is a battlefield. Guard it like a fortress. Every yes you utter is a draft of your soldiers, your minutes, your strength, your attention into someone else's war. And most of those wars don't deserve your blood. Master the cold art of no. Not with excuses, not with guilt, but with sovereign finality. Kings don't justify closed gates, they keep them closed. Time wasted is power surrendered. Energy spent on the unworthy is life stolen by parasites. Focus divided is a blade dulled to scrap. Your monopoly must be ruthless. Invest only in campaigns that multiply your reach, in alliances that add steel, in pursuits that elevate your throne. Everything else burns in silence. Guard your sleep without it. Your mind turns to rust. Guard your attention. What you stare at becomes habit, and habits forge your fate. Guard your energy. When it drains, wolves smell blood. Become untouchable in this. Let no one claim your hours without proving their worth. Let no one siphon your fuel without delivering strength in return. Let no one hijack your focus with petty static. This isn't selfishness. It's sovereignty. When you conserve and command your resources, you become untouchable, immune to urgency, guilt, pressure. You choose. You dictate. The world adjusts. Etched this phrase now. I move first. I win. Because when you own your time, energy, and focus, you move before the game even starts. Guard these like blood, because they are blood, the lifeblood of your power. Surrender them and you become a servant. Guard them and you remain a king. Law 7. Asymmetric moves. Win without wrestling. Power isn't earned by grinding in the mud with a herd. It's claimed through asymmetric moves. You don't wrestle pigs. You position so pigs wrestle each other while you claim the throne. Machiavelli taught, direct confrontation is costly and unpredictable. The smarter ruler finds leverage. The angle no one sees. The move that topples giants without raising a fist. Stop thinking like a laborer. Start thinking like a strategist. Most men waste their lives in symmetrical wars, arguing point for point, trading blow for blow, swapping hours for crumbs. That's slavery in work boots. You will not fight on their terms. You will change the game. Asymmetry is intelligence against brute force, patience against haste, silence against noise. It's letting others exhaust themselves in battles you've already outflanked. History proves it. Great rulers rarely won by raw power. They won by rigging conditions so the enemy collapsed without knowing why. That's your blueprint. Never meet resistance head-on when you can tilt the ground beneath their feet. This means seeing what others ignore. Where they rush, you wait. Where they flaunt, you conceal. Where they chase, you lure. Asymmetry is psychological warfare. Outmaneuvering, not overpowering. When someone drags you into petty conflict, refuse. They expect defense, wrestling. Instead, rise above, shift the frame, or let silence burn them. Nothing destroys an enemy like being denied the fight they crave. And when you strike, strike where they least expect, at their weakest moment, with the tool they never considered. Study patterns, not emotions. Emotion blinds, patterns reveal. Anticipate. Prepare. Move while they're still debating. Win before the wrestling begins. Every moment you argue with fools, every battle on someone else's stage, you betray your throne. Stay above the mud. Control the terrain. Set the frame. Let them sweat, let them rate, while you conserve energy for decisive, asymmetric blows. That's how kings win. That's how empires rise without wasting themselves in endless wars. Win without wrestling, that is your art. Law 8. The mask and the mirror. Power isn't just what you possess, it's what others believe you possess. And that belief is sculpted through masks and mirrors. The mask is the face you show, the world's the crafted persona that controls perception. The mirror is your ability to see reality, undistorted to see others as they are, and yourself as you truly are beneath the costume. Machiavelli knew. Rulers don't survive by being transparent. They survive by being unreadable, showing one thing while holding another. To move untouchable, master both. The mask is your projection of strength, control, mystery. People aren't drawn to raw truth. They're drawn to narrative, symbols, illusions that confirm what they want to believe. Strip bare and they'll see flaws, doubts, cracks and use them. But mask yourself in calculated signals, discipline in posture, certainty in words, restraint in reactions, and you broadcast power greater than any inner storm. The mask doesn't lie. It selects, it chooses what to reveal, what to hide, creating an aura that demands obedience or respect. Weak men mock masks because they worship authenticity like a god, but authenticity is often just uncontrolled exposure. The wolf wears silence. Only sheep bleat every thought. Wear the mask of command. Show composure when chaos brews inside. Show indifference when fury burns. Show calm focus when others scramble. Your mask must always serve your power, never your feelings. But a mask without a mirror is fatal. Men who live only in costume begin to believe their own act. They lose self-vision and miscalculate. The mirror is ruthless self-scrutiny. Where are you impulsive? Weak? Predictable? Without the mirror, your mask becomes brittle porcelain ready to shatter. With it, you refine the mask into armor. The mirror also turns outward. See others without illusion or hope, sentiment, projection. Most men see what they wish. They fall for potential. Trust. Empty words. Ignore patterns for comfort. You will not. Polish the mirror until you see predators, allies, pawns, obstacles. This clarity grants dominance. When others misjudge, you calculate. When others hope, you prepare. When others trust blindly, you hold the knife behind your back. This is the balance. Mask for the world, mirror for yourself. Master them, and you become untouchable. The mask lets you move unseen, feared, or admired by design. The mirror prevents deception, especially by your own reflection. Together they form cold power psychology. Greatest rulers, leaders, conquerors, none showed their full hand. None revealed inner chaos. None let the crowd see trembling beneath the throne. They wore masks, so convincing history remembers them larger than life. They held mirrors so ruthless, they corrected flaws before enemies spotted them. Practice daily. Construct your mask. Intentionally voice, posture, silence, gaze. Every gesture must suggest control. Train the mirror with equal discipline. Journal weaknesses. Analyze failures. Dissect patterns without pity. Both are weapons. Both must be sharpened. Here's the dark truth. People want to be deceived. They crave leaders who appear unshakable, who embody certainty. Your mask gives them what they crave. In return, they grant obedience. Beneath it, your mirror keeps you awake, aware, strategic. Never confuse transparency with trust. Trust is earned through consistency, not confession. Never confuse honesty with effectiveness. Honesty without timing destroys kings. Mask what weakens you. Mirror what strengthens you. Let others expose their chaos to the crowd. You will rule because you choose what they see, while always seeing more than they show. This dual mastery makes you formidable. It makes you untouchable. When you command yourself with mask and mirror, the world bends not because it knows you fully, but because it never truly can. Law 9. Loyalty by design, not demand. Loyalty isn't given. It's engineered. Weak men beg for it, plead for it, demand attend. Wonder why betrayal strikes in the dark. Machiavelli made it clear. People aren't loyal by nature. They're loyal when structure binds them. Incentives lock them. Fear of loss outweighs temptation. Build your world so loyalty isn't a choice, it's the natural outcome of alignment. Stop expecting devotion for kindness. Kindness is cheap. Stop expecting commitment for words. Words are lighter than ash. Loyalty must be forged, like iron heated by necessity, hammered by incentives, cooled by boundaries. Design it, don't request it. History shows kingdoms held not by affection, but by fear of punishment, flow of rewards, and belief in the ruler's unbreakable strength. When that belief cracked, even trusted allies turned. Don't rely on oaths, rely on architecture. Structure relationships so betrayal costs more than loyalty. If someone stands beside you, they gain from your rise and suffer from your fall. Their self-interest welds them to your cause. This isn't romantic. It's survival. Machiavelli said it's safer to be feared than loved. Fear anchors loyalty when love fades, but the highest level combines both. Structure influence so people respect your power and benefit from your success. Never confuse loyalty with love. Love shifts with moods, temptations, boredom. Loyalty built on structure endures. It's locked into the foundation. Control the levers. Reward loyalty decisively. Punish betrayal without hesitation. Never expose yourself to betrayal that can destroy you. Divide power. Keep certain keys in your hand, alone. Trust people with tasks they can carry, but never with the throne. People must know your strength is independent of their support. Without them, you still rule. You still rise. You still move. That knowledge keeps them respectful. That dependence keeps them aligned. Cultivate a reputation for memory. Remember loyalty forever reward. It visibly. Remember betrayal forever punish. It visibly. People act by precedent. If they see loyalty rewarded and betrayal crushed, they calculate accordingly. If betrayal is tolerated, they exploit. Your loyalty must be scarce. Give it sparingly. Tie it to performance. Let others work to earn it. Scarcity breeds value. Most men overcommit loyalty and end up chained to parasites. You will not distribute loyalty like a king grants titles rare, conditional, always revocable. When you grant it, it must mean something. Loyalty by design is also about yourself. Be loyal to your own standards first. Betray yourself, and every structure collapses. Enforce within what you demand without. Stand by your principles, vision. Disciplined others will see loyalty to you is loyalty to something stable, inevitable. Inevitable power attracts commitment. Engrave this. Loyalty is not born. It is engineered. Stop begging. Stop chasing. Build systems, structures, incentives that make loyalty the most rational option. That's how kings rule. That's how empires endure. Speak the phrase now. I move first, I win. Because when you design loyalty instead of begging for it, you move before betrayal. You move before collapse. You move with inevitability. In a world where most men trust the fragile rope of affection, you walk armored in iron chains of calculated loyalty. That is the difference between being abandoned and being followed, between victim and sovereign. Loyalty by design, not demand. That is how you become untouchable. Law 10. The untouchable standard. Crown inward, steel outward. Power isn't an accessory. It's the standard by which you live, Breathe. Govern yourself. The untouchable man doesn't stumble into greatness. He forges it with fire inside, an armor outside, crown inward, steel outward. This is the law of sovereignty. Crown inward means you rule your inner world as a monarch rules his throne room. Discipline, order, clarity of command. No indulgence governs you. No weakness owns you. No impulse drags you off course. You become the authority inside your mind. Thoughts that weaken you are silenced. Emotions that distract are redirected. Habits that corrode are executed without pity. That crown isn't ornamental. It's forged from routine, suffering, relentless refusal to let the lower self control the higher. Every dawn, the crown waits. If you don't place it firmly, you walk into the world as a servant. Most men never wear it. They let fear, envy, lust, comfort, rule and drift like broken ships across hostile seas. You will not. Seize the helm every dawn. Enforce your own law. Declare with unflinching clarity what will and will not govern you. That is crown inward, but power hidden inside is incomplete without projection. Steel outward. Steel outward is the visible force, the aura, posture that makes others adjust before you speak. It's the steel in your eyes, calm in your tone, immovability in your decisions. Not theatrical aggression, quiet inevitability. Others sense it like heat from iron. Testing you is costly. Disrespecting you is dangerous. Approaching carelessly is foolish. This steel comes not from pretense, but practice. When you crown yourself inside, steel radiates outside. Machiavellian principle. Appearance is as crucial as essence. The crowd doesn't see your crown. They feel your steel. They don't care about your discipline. They care about the power you project. Craft both. Crown inward creates substance. Steel outward creates perception. Together they form sovereignty that cannot be pierced. Most men fake steel without earning the crown. They posture, boast, bark while their inner world rots. Such men always fall. The mask cracks. The steel bends. Without inner rule, they're brittle. You will not be brittle. Align inner command with outer projection until the world sees no gap between what you are and what you appear. That alignment is the untouchable standard. Practiced relentlessly, test yourself. When chaos rises, does your crown slip? Do you panic, stutter, retreat, or hold the throne inside and let steel outward calm the storm? When temptation whispers, do you obey like a subject, or crush it beneath your crown's decree? When disrespect confronts you, do you grovel for peace, or let steel outward make your boundary known without flinching? Each test defines sovereign or slave. Sovereignty is daily, hourly, moment by moment. Machiavelli wrote, "Fortune favors the bold but destroys the unprepared." The untouchable man is bold because he is prepared. His crown rules him. His steel protects him. Become inevitable. Inevitability is built on standards so high, consistent, unforgiving that the world bends rather than expects you to lower them. Your health is standard. Your time is standard. Your word is standard. You will not break them for convenience, temptation, approval. Every break rusts your crown, bends your steel. Weak men are inconsistent, and consistency is weakness, disguised as flexibility. You must be granite. Predictable in discipline, unpredictable in strategy. That paradox makes you untouchable. The world must know. Inside you sits a sovereign no one can sway. Outside you project a wall no one can breach. Here's the secret. When you become this, you stop chasing. Respect chases you. Loyalty seeks you. Opportunities orbit you. Gravity pulls toward the solid, never the brittle. You won't need to announce yourself. Silence will proclaim. You won't need to prove. Results will testify. You won't need to demand loyalty. Structure will engineer it. This is what happens when crown inward and steel outward align. They create inevitability. People bend. Not because you force them, but because your standard leaves no alternative. That is the pinnacle of Machiavellian psychology, the art of designing yourself so power flows to you without begging, chasing, exhaustion. The crown makes you master of yourself. The steel makes you master of your domain. Together, they make you untouchable. Carve this creed into your identity. Speak it, write it, type it. I move first. I win. Say it now. Let it echo. Every time you feel the pull to bend, hesitate, doubt. Because sovereignty is movement, and movement first is victory. The untouchable man doesn't wait for permission, validation, certainty. He moves first because his crown commands it and his steel protects it. This is the final standard. Rule yourself, and you rule everything. Around you, abandon yourself, and you become food for rulers sharper than you. Crown inward, steel outward. Guard the throne, project the force. Live the law, and if this voice sharpened you, sharpen it further. Like, subscribe, turn on notifications, because this isn't entertainment. This is war strategy for the man who refuses to be consumed. And the war is endless, but so is your sovereignty if you choose it.